Hello everyone, you are welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Redwan Ibrahim. In this tutorial video, I will be taking you through how you can detail a pad base in Cad RC. In the last video on Cad RC, I showed you how you can detail the plan detail of a pad base using the automatic function or the automatic tool that we have here in Cad RC. And right now, I'll be showing you another tool that can actually detail both the plan and the section of a pad base footing. However, it is still an automatic detailer. You understand? So actually the automatic detailer can make your work faster and easier to some point, but it is not the main detailing function of Cad RC because it is not user defined. Okay. And also there is a limit to what the automatic detailer can actually do. For example, if you click on this drop down, you see it can detail a beam, just a beam of one span. All right, so if it is more than one span, it cannot detail it. It can also detail a column of one story, even though the detail is not even worth it at all. And then it can detail a pad base. This is what I showed you in the last video. It can detail a pie cap or such. It can detail a pad base like this. It can detail a straight flight stair and then an octagonal pad base. All right, so if you have if you want to detail a multiple span column, a multiple span beam, and then a slab, a staircase, different kind of staircase, different kind of column, several things, you understand, that means you have to use the user defined function, which is the main function of Cad RC. And then if you are interested in getting the course, I will put the link of the details of how you can get the course in the description of this video. So let's just get into this as soon as possible. Now I will go to the generate tab here. Make sure you're in Cad RC. You definitely have to install Cad RC on your system and you link it to AutoCAD. Now you come to the drop down here and then you can come to pad base detailer. The one we used the last time was pad footing detailer. All right, so now we are going to pad base detailer. So you click on pad base detailer. All right, then it will bring the member dialog for you. Okay, so depending, in a particular detail, you might have several members like beam, column, slab, staircase. You have several members that you detail just in one page of the AutoCAD layout like this. All right, so in order to differentiate which is which, you have to give them name one after the other. So you give stair, beam, column, let column be column, you understand. Then at the end of the day, you can assign them to each member so that when you print them out, you print the bar bearing schedule out. All the bars under the beam will be under the beam, all the bars under the column will be under the column. That is the purpose of having this drop down. So right now I do not even want to do much. I just need the pad base, so I'll just say okay, pad base. All right, yeah, something like this. That's the name of the member. Then if you want to give some description, you can give it. Then quantity, just leave it in 1. Okay, so and then you click on okay. Then I will have this dialog. All right, now the basic thing you can just do is you can come to the default and change the default here. Okay, this is where you change the grade of concrete and many more. All right, so I click on the default, just double click on it, and then this will pop up. All right, now you have the concrete grade. The concrete grade here, that is the FCU, which is the compressive strength of the concrete. So this is 30 Newton per mm square, which is the same thing as grade 30. I will decide to use 30. If you want to use 25, you can use it, but actually this has no real meaning because what you are doing is detailing, you are not designing. This will be necessary while designing, so whatever is here does not really matter actually. All right, then you come to the cover. The cover is necessary because the cover is what will determine where the rebar will start from. Remember, this is detailing. And then if you are not putting a cover, the position, if you put a cover of 0, for example, that means the rebar will start exactly from the external edge of the base, and that is very wrong. There should be cover. All right, so I'll put a cover of 40, so the cover is necessary. All right, then a side cover as well. I'll put a side cover of 40. Also the top cover, I'll make that to be 40 as well. So all the covers will be 40. Now do not forget that this is a pad base, and a pad base is usually in connection to the column. All right, so as we are working with the pad base, we will conditionally be working with the column as well. So right now he wants to know the cover for the column. I'll make the cover of the column to be 25. All right, so this that I filled last is actually the cover for the column. This is the top cover for the base, this is the side cover for the base, and this is the bottom cover for the base. All right, and this is all sides cover for the column. So you just click on next, and here you will have a dialog to to explain what you will have for your bar arrangement. Okay, so now the reinforcement, you have different type of reinforcement. You can see this. You have unreinforced, you have single one, single two, double one, and many more. All right, now you do not even need to confuse yourself. Regardless of whichever you pick here, you can pictorially see what you're having in this image that is at the right here. So let me click on unreinforced. Of course, you know what you'll be expecting when you click on unreinforced. Unreinforced is there is no reinforcement still at all. All right, so now let me click on unreinforced. Now you can see from this picture that there is no reinforcement inside this. So this is definitely not what I need. So I'll click down on this drop down and I'll pick single one. Single one, this is a singly reinforced pad base. A pad base can be singly reinforced, it can be double reinforced. Okay, so depending on what you want to go for, just pick whichever it is appropriate. So right now I'm going for single one. All right, to make it short, I'll come to the longitudinal bar shape. Now when you're talking about bar shape, the shape of bar, we have different kind of bar. Your bar can be straight, your bar can be bent, it can be bent in form of U, it can be bent in form of a cranked bar, different kind of shapes. All right, and then all these shapes are represented with a number which we call code. So usually we say shape code. All right, so shape code, we have shape code 20, we have shape code 35, we have shape code 38. These are the codes that are provided for this part base, but I will be going for shape code 38. All right, that is what is necessary here. So I will click on that because that is the part that we have a dual, a bob. So the transverse I've done for the longitudinal. What I just did right now is pick the shape code for the longitudinal bar. All right, so right now I will pick the shape code for the transverse bar, and that will be the same type of shape code, and that is shape code 38. All right, now it will want to know if you want to include your column outline and the starter bar. You understand? It will want to know if you want to include the column outline and the starter bar inside the pad base. Usually I do not like to include this, so I will uncheck this. Now, but if you check this, okay, it will go ahead and ask you if you still want to see the starter bar. All right, this happened in the last episode that I showed you on pad base, so I do not like it. I'm not a fan of that, so I will uncheck this box. So no column outline and no starter bar outline will be shown in my pad base plan. However, let me just click on it so that you will see it. When you see it, it will be better because I do not want to come back and redo this. So now you click on next. All right, and then now you will have to fix the dimension for the pad base and the dimension for the column. All right, now the pad base, I want the length of the pad base to be 1300 millimeters. All right, so I'll fix that to 13. I'll do the same thing for the width, 1300. All right, and then the thickness, let the thickness be 300 millimeters. And then now I have to fix the dimension for the column. I'll make the column to be 250 by 250. I want a 250 by 250 section column. Right, so this is a square column, right? You can actually have a rectangular column too, depending on whatsoever you fix. For example, if you fix 300 by 230, that is a rectangular column. All right, but you can actually have a circular column. So if what you need is a circular column, you just need to check this box. All right, and then here the diameter, you just fix it to, let's say 300 millimeter diameters, and that is how you fix that. But I do not want a circular column, so I'm going to uncheck this. All right, so you have 250 by 250 square column. And then for the offset, let the offset be 0. Now the height of the kicker is not that important, so whatever you fix here is not a problem, but just make sure it is adequate, because that is what you will eventually use to make the alignment for the column in the upper stories. So I'll just fix this to 75. Personally, I use 75. That is 3 inches. It is enough. Now you click on next, and then what you need to fix right now is the base reinforcement. All right, so you have to fix the the spacing, the diameter, and the grade of steel. Firstly, I'll change the grade of steel from T, I'll change it to Y. Y is high yield steel. All right, so I'll change this to Y as well. And then now I will change the diameter from 6 mm, I will change it to 12 mm. Also for the bottom in the other direction, I will change it to 12 mm. All right, and then you can see B1 B2, that basically means the bottom one and bottom two. You know, this is a singly reinforced, so you only have bottom reinforcement, but one will go in the transverse direction while the other will go in the longitudinal direction. So the one in the longitudinal direction, you can call it B1, and the one in the transverse direction, you can label it as B2. All right, now you can fix the spacing. So depending on what you fix as the spacing, that will determine what will be here as the number. This is the number and this is the spacing. Now let me put a spacing of 175 mm, and then you'll see this will reduce definitely because I have increased the spacing. When you increase the spacing, you should be expecting this to reduce. Now if I click on this box, you see this has reduced to 7 numbers. So I can make the spacing of this to be 150, or let me even increase it to 200. All right, 200, and then this will reduce to about 6. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Now you click on next. So right now we have to deal with the column. Okay, so the grade of the column, change this to Y, and then change the size to 16 mm. You know, it is a square column, and definitely you are expecting one rebar at the corner, because when you have a square, you have 4 corners, right? So 1 bar in each corner, so that is 4 altogether, and that is why you can see 4 numbers here. It is even fixed, you can't change this. All right, and then here it will want to know the dimension A. What is dimension A? Dimension A, you can check this picture to know what dimension A is. So A is the position from the top of the base, okay, to any position at the top, and this actually depends on the depth of your foundation. So let me just fix this to 1000 mm. All right, and then what is B? B is the length of the dowel. Okay, you can see B here, that's the length of the dowel of the column. Let me make that to be 150. Okay, 150. And now this simply means 4y16. So what if your reinforcement is actually greater than 4y16? That means you will need some sidebars, sidebars in the 2 directions. So if you need a sidebar, this is 0 actually. So if you need 2 sidebars, you can fix that 2. If you need sidebar in the other direction, you can fix that to be whatever, and then you fix this as it should be. All right, but I do not need any sidebar, I just need 4y16. All right, so what I'm saying is if you need 6y16, then you need to put 2 sidebars here. If you need 8y16, you need to put 2 sidebars here and 2 sidebars here. Okay, so that is how you go about that. And do not forget that when you have a column, you need to connect all of the bars with a link. All right, so this is the link. So I will make this to be Y as well, and then this should be let's say 10 mm, and then the number, just fix the number depending on what the length is. So I'll just put the number as 3 here. I do not need to make any calculation. Then just click on next, and then you click on draw, because we are done with everything that needs to be fixed. It's still asking me if it should be part base. Yeah, it should be part base, so click on OK. And then right now I just need to drop it. So you just need to pick a point and drop it like this. Boom. All right, then it will drop. Now it has dropped the plan detail of the stuff, so it needs to drop the section detail as well. So you click here so that I can drop the section detail like this. All right, and then it will want to draw the column plan, so click here too so that I can drop the column plan, and then you can see what you have here. So this is your rebar. Usually I delete this, so I'll just select this and then I delete that. Okay, so this is the concrete cover and this is the link. Okay, so you see that you still have this offset is just for you to to draw your bar, so I'll just take it off. And then here this is the same thing, take it off like this. And then this height that you are seeing here is actually stand for the kicker. Okay, so you can just connect it together if you wish, and then this as well, you can take it off. Okay, and one more thing I will do is this particular reinforcement, I will try to fix the dimension. So you can just double click this, and then you come to this side and you put it inside. Okay, so that it will leave the plan and come to side. Let's click on first bar. Okay, this has been fixed, so click on OK, click on OK. So yeah, you can have it in this direction, something like this. So double click on this as well, and then you change this from plan to side, and then you click on OK, and then you can have it like this. Okay, so I think this is good enough. Then other things you can do is you can decide to change the color, change the line width, and change many more. And then here you still have to do a little bit of work here, because you have to call the bar reference so that I can know what the shape code of this is, and then you do the bar reference for all of this. However, if you wish to create a footing plan such as this one, and then the section such as this one, a column like this, a column elevation, column section, a one span beam detail like this, a multiple span beam detail like this, and then, you know, bar bending schedule and many more, you will have to purchase the full course, and the detail of the full course is in the description of the video. So thank you for watching, and if you like the video, make sure you give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, kindly consider giving me a subscription. Thank you for watching.